Hey guys, welcome back to Confirm and RM YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, getting ourselves back into the 2-minute technicals video here, looking at XRP. Interesting day that has kind of ensued for us. We were kind of talking about trying to get ourselves back above that 702, getting through 70 cents, but lo and behold, we had that crazy fake out that we had there with the fake ETF iShares in Delaware that wound up pushing it up there. What was that? Almost crazy percentage from the low, around 16% at least. But obviously that was just a liquidity grab, a push back down, and as you can see now we're having this sort of descending channel out of an uptrend. So even this isn't terrible either, but it'd be something more like that. But what we can wind up doing, guys, is you can see here in 4 hour we're getting pushed back down. We're almost at a 30. Usually we kind of meander around here for a little bit before we wind up pushing back upwards, but you can see that sort of trend. We're just starting to turn, I wouldn't say crazily red, but we're getting there. I don't have too much to say here. We're pretty overextended. I mean, we're almost as extended as we were here in October when we came down in the same level over here in September. So I mean, in terms of short-term pain, realistically, it should be over. I would say maybe another pushback down here to 61, but I think it'd be more gradual. It'd be a lot less steep. It'd be a lot less drawn back. It would be just more of a steady, just kind of maneuvering, because it looks like we have a nice, strong support. I guess this was what we were talking about, having a nice floor rather, right here at that 61.9. Obviously, we came back down here. We tried retesting a little bit. People got some liquidity, and that's just how it was. People got their steals, the bears were trying to overtake it. Bulls came right back, and you can see just turning that into a support. So that's good to see. As you can extend it over here. You can see it's that same sort of line. But what we're going to wind up doing from here is we can now sort of shift it. If you really wanted to, you could shift it down here, and you can see the high to the low, holding above 62. Otherwise, we'd come back down to that 59 level. But I would say if we're going to be longer term bullish, what we're going to want to do is keep things right here. You can see at the moment we're holding above it on the 4 hour. But maybe for more of a short term analysis, we need to go here on the 4 hour. Sorry, on the 1 hour even. The 1 hour. We can grab trend line, come across top. We have a ceiling up there too around that 64 if we really wanted to over the course of the next 2 days. It'd be something more like that in the bottom end. So we might be getting some sort of movement by Wednesday, 11 o'clock in the morning. That sort of movement would maybe yield itself up there to around, looks like that 382 right there around 66 cents. We might be able to get that nice little push up there, get a nice little push back, because here on the 1 hour you can see we came pretty far down here on the 1 hour on the MACD. You can even see just as powerful as any of these drawbacks that we've seen. Actually, on a 1 hour, this is one of the most powerful ones we've had in a while. So we're about to turn bullish again, so I would say short term would probably make the most sense for us to get that little, try to get at least that 65 cents again over the course of the next day, trying to push up, get a nice, what would that be from this point onwards, around like a 1.5 to 3.5%, I would say would be safe over the next day or two. Just filling in a gap, because right now we have a pretty large gap from where we were. Even retesting that bottom of that zone there at 65, so that makes sense to me. But regardless, what we're going to be wind up doing is seeing if we can hold that 62 level, kind of push ourselves across for the rest of the month. Obviously, we're still in this larger trend here. Like I was talking about this was going to be end of December. December 4th is when it ends on here in this 1 hour. But you can see if we go here to 4 hour. We were talking about this going on until like December 5th, December 6th, in this trend. But even then, that retracement would end up being back up there to that 74 region. But, XRP and Bitcoin and everything else kind of lunged up there, did a crazy, we did 18%. So it kind of makes sense to come back down, back test it, hold that region, kind of go across, and then get another push to the upside. It seems like the profit taking has came in. You had the scares. I mean, I don't think that necessarily we're going to wind up just skyrocketing back out of here. I think it needs to work itself out and needs to kind of trend a little bit sideways. As you can see, most of the red regions that wind up happening wind up lasting for a little while before they start to gradually grab themselves back up and start flying. But as you can see here, we have more red, but it needs to kind of, you would probably see at least another 7 to 8 candles at least kind of just going across. So what's that times 4 is 28 hours. I would say at least 2 to 3 days of us kind of trending sideways before we see something kind of show up like that out of XRP or Bitcoin, respectively. But at the moment, what we're going to be looking for, guys, if we really want to figure out exactly what had happened in this cycle, you could even grab right here, this high to this low. You can see we flew up, hit a 4.236, came back down here on the 1. Sorry, we tried holding the 1618. Couldn't get through to that again, and then came back down. It looks like it came on to 382. So it looks like if you're going to wind up being bullish again, or if you're going to wind up going for another retracement, 64 is on the table at least for that first retracement. And then the one afterwards is still at 67. But realistically, if we're going to wind up just bouncing around in this region, you'd be holding above that 61. And that's really funny how that 61 is that level. But I think just bouncing between at 64 and 62 at least, at most, like I was saying before, that 67. I think it's just going to meander. The bullish scenario we'd want would be for us to do something more like this, and then get our drive outwards. We want to see that. That would be the most bullish case scenario for a further trajectory of XRP for the end of the year into quarter one of next year. You would want to see a nice gradual build up. You want it because XRP likes to just kind of maneuver, and then explode, and then back test, and then maneuver, explode, and back test. That's exactly what we want to keep seeing. But I wonder what your guys' thoughts are. If it winds up breaking down from here, 57 and then 54 accordingly. If we do zoom out here on this chart, we can see that if we really were to be bearish, if you want to grab some of these old trends here and get these out of the way, and you were to just really back out and look at that, we could technically come right back down to 50 if we really wanted to. If you zoom out here on a 1 day, you can see that it's pretty overextended from it could come back. If it's not done yet, XRP could. If you wanted to still stay in bullish territory but have a nice hefty retracement, you'd be see XRP coming down here to around that 54 region, or maybe 57. 57 was kind of like that support over here back in February 22 and May of 22. And then a resistance here in March, and then also over here in June, and also here in July. So it makes sense to turn 57 into a support at worst case scenario. And I think at doomsday, it would still have to be 54. So nothing screams to me this is bad. There's nothing going on. XRP is going to be going to zero, and craziness. I think the contrary. I think exactly what we had seen over the past day with the retracements was due. I've been talking about this with other investors and other chart analysts. It made total sense. Having those buy orders at 35.5 was a godsend sort of trade that you could have done on Bitcoin. It made sense. Even in my mind here with XRP at that 62, 63, having the buys in there was a good idea, at least in my mind, because I'm always just looking to add to what I got. So I do whatever I got. But I hope you guys are having a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Remember, none of it's financial advice, my personal opinion, just my thought process, just how I am navigating the crypto market myself. Hope you guys have a great one and enjoy your Wednesday.